Scorpio, Sagittarius. What if the person you're struggling to let go of isn't actually the biggest thing you've been asked to release? What if it's the pain connected to them? Because the cards are showing heartbreak, sleepless nights, looking towards the future. And I see that Two of Wands, a backpack. Like somebody is saying, I've carried this long enough, I'm ready to go. And there's something here that you're not seeing about the situation that I think might hit home for some of you, because the question isn't really just who is leaving, it's more about what can no longer come with you into this next chapter. So hi, my Scorpio Sagittarius, welcome back in to the Mystical Soul Tribe. If you're new, welcome, hi. Today we're looking at is who and what is being eclipsed out your life. I just need you to remember that this doesn't automatically mean a person leaving, all right? It could be a romantic person, a romantic relationship. It could be a friendship. It could be a family dynamic. It could be a co-worker. It could be an unhealthy attachment, a one-sided relationship, or even an old version of yourself. All right. Let's really dive in here. You know, Scorpio bonds deeply. When you care, you really care. But Sagittarius eventually needs to breathe. You need movement, you need growth, you need to feel like life is still expanding. And sometimes you can stay in a situation longer than you should because Scorpio says, but we have history, but I love them. But I don't give up on people. And Sag is like saying, yeah, but I can't keep living like this. So this is where your theme is coming in, as who or what can no longer come with you into the next chapter. And because sometimes the ending isn't punishment, sometimes it's evolution. Three of Swords, clarified by the Two of Wands, right? Your first two cards. See this Two of Wands here with the backpack. Scorpio Sagittarius, this is quite pretty clear. Something hurt you. The Three of Swords represents heartbreak, disappointment, sadness, all that painful truth, all right? Maybe someone betrayed you. Maybe someone walked away. Maybe you discovered something you didn't want to know. Maybe you were left wondering, why wasn't I enough? Or perhaps it's something even less dramatic, all right? Maybe the relationship simply became painful. Like you kept having the same arguments. You kept feeling disappointed. You kept expecting something different. And every time you end up hurt again. This is that Two of Wands underlining energy. There's another direction available for you here at that's underlining here. He's got that backpack on his back, right? I love this because it gives me the image of someone saying, I'm taking what I've learned, but I'm not carrying the whole situation with me. There's a difference that you have not forgotten. You don't have to pretend it didn't happen. And you don't have to say it never mattered. Maybe it mattered like greatly, right? But it doesn't have to determine where you go next. For some of you, this eclipse is just asking you to leave behind the heartbreak itself, not necessarily the person. Maybe you and this person does continue to have the same connection. Maybe you don't. But the pain doesn't have to come with you. Fives, change is happening, right? 3 and 2 make 5, change. All right. Why is this happening now? Because there's the Nine of Swords is showing here. Why is this happening? The Nine of Swords, you have reached the end of that mental exhaustion. This is that energy where you lie in bed replaying everything. What did I do wrong? Why did they say that? What if I handled it differently? What are they doing now? Should I reach out? Should I leave it alone? And you can go around and around in your head, but yeah. Let's get another one. Three of Swords. I mean, Three of Wands. Sorry, double threes could be significant. Yeah, the Three of Swords. That pain and that thing that you've been playing over in your head, alright? But Three of Wands is you turning your back on that now. You're closing the door on the anxiety, the stress, the worry, the pain, the frustration. And you're looking towards the future. You're looking ahead. Maybe you've been really focused on what happened that you have forgotten that you've got a whole future out there. That you've forgotten you still have a future. Yes, I repeated that again. Imagine you've had a friendship end and you spend 6 months thinking about it, checking their social media, wondering whether they'll contact you, replaying that argument. Meantime, your life is still moving. New people are entering. New opportunities are appearing. You're changing, but mentally, maybe you're still standing in the old situation. And that's where the Three of Wands wants you to change. The eclipse is bringing this up now because you're ready to look forward towards the future. The number 12 could be significant for someone. For you, again, it breaks down to threes. Threes really could be significant. So, what are you not seeing? Here's the six of Wands. Some of you may think they won, they moved on, they look happier without me. Maybe I wasn't important. But I'm hearing you coming out of this stronger. And this all that Leo energy that's happening now. Page of Swords. There may have been someone watching, observing, and keeping an eye on what's happening. This could be someone checking your social media, checking you coming out on top of things, someone asking a mutual friend about you, someone quietly noticing your progress, or simply watching you from the distance, trying to figure out what somebody else is doing. But there's also a bigger message here that stop measuring your healing against somebody else's highlight reel, alright? You don't know what's happening behind everyone's closed door. You don't know whether they're happy. You don't know whether they regret something. You don't know what they're thinking. And honestly, you don't need to know. It's not our business, alright? You don't need to know. The Six of Wands is saying that your victory isn't about proving something to them. Your victory is getting your life back. Maybe you started looking better, feeling better, working harder, making money, traveling, meeting new people, building something, getting your confidence back, and suddenly you realize, wait, I actually survived all that SH. And that is victory itself. I'm hearing let them watch, let them observe. Who or what is making room for the new? Two of Wands. And choosing a new direction. Two of Cups. This is about a connection. So what's making room for the new? Double twos could be significant. This is a relationship where you don't have to lose yourself to be loved. This could be romantic, but don't limit it to always romance, guys. Maybe it's a new best friend, a new business partner, a new co-worker, a new soul connection, someone who genuinely understands you, someone who meets you halfway. And look at the difference, right? The old energy has left you thinking, where do I stand? And the new energy feels like we're both here and we're choosing this. That's the Two of Cups. balance. You don't need a relationship to trap you. You need a relationship where love and freedom can exist together. Someone who doesn't make you feel guilty for having your own love. Someone who supports your growth. Someone who doesn't require you to shrink so they can feel secure. And that's why this eclipse doesn't only remove, it sometimes creates space. Alright, so what should you do now? So we do have the Hermit, Virgo energy coming out here. I'm hearing pause, go within. Yeah, 7 of Pentacles. Almost said 2 of Pentacles. Maybe some of you have been juggling and you need to go within. Double 2s really is significant for some of you. Messages, notifications. But I'm hearing don't rush into another relationship just because you're tired of being alone. And also don't immediately replace another person. Replace one person with another, okay? And also don't make a huge decision. Don't make a huge decision simply because you're emotional. Because the Hermit is talking about go within, all right? And then ask yourself, what did this relationship teach me? What did I ignore? What did I tolerate? What do I actually want next time? Look at what you've invested in. What's still growing? What is equal give and take? Was it worth the energy? This can be a relationship where you spent years waiting for something to improve and maybe thought, eventually they will change. Eventually we'll get there. Eventually they will commit. But how long have you been waiting? That's the 7 of Pentacles questions, right? And it doesn't mean walk away immediately. It just means be honest about the return on your emotional investment. If you're constantly planting seeds and nothing ever grows, maybe it's time to plant seeds elsewhere. 97 could be significant for some of you. So let's have a look at Spirit's advice here. 8 of Swords. Feeling trapped. But 8 of Swords is only it's partly trapped. That it's like you feel you can't leave. You don't know what you will do without them. Like nobody will understand you. What if you regret it? What if you make a mistake? And Spirit's saying you actually have more choices than you think. Keep working on yourself. There's 8 of Pentacles. Keep building, keep improving, keep creating, keep focusing on you, on your life. Put your energy somewhere that gives you something back. Yeah. 6 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Double 8s could also be significant for some of you. So double 2s, double 8s, all right? Yeah, this is the past. Memories, nostalgia. Someone from your history. This could absolutely mean someone from the past still has an emotional hold on you. Maybe you don't even want them back. Maybe you miss who you were when you were with them. There's a difference. Sometimes we're not missing the person. We're missing the version of ourselves that existed during that chapter. So what Spirit's asking is, can you honor the past without living there? Something hurt you, right? But you've been shown another direction. I'm hearing stop allowing the past to occupy your future. You're stronger than you realize. Someone may be observing your progress, but your healing isn't about proving anything. A healthy connection also becomes possible when you choose a new direction. And I'm hearing pause and honestly evaluate what you're investing your energy into. And also remember, you're not trapped as you think you are. And then put your energy into something, into what you're building, yourself and your future. And then I'm hearing, but don't also underestimate your nostalgia. My Scorpio Sagittarius, I feel like this reading is really asking you to stop confusing familiar with what's meant to stay. Because sometimes something can, because something can become familiar and still not be good for you. You can have 10 years of history with someone, all right, and you can have hundreds of memories, and you can know their family, they can know your family, and you can have gone through difficult things together, all right, and still you can reach a point where you realize we're actually going in different directions. And that doesn't mean everyone has to be the villain. It just, maybe they weren't maybe a bad person. Maybe they weren't, they maybe you simply became different people, all right? And that's okay. You're allowed to move through your transformation and move forward. So eventually there comes a moment also where you have to ask, am I staying because I still want this, or because I'm afraid to leave what I already know? That's a powerful question. All right? And you don't have to carry heartbreak for months and years, all right? And you don't have to carry it forever just because it happened to you. You're allowed to put it down. You're allowed to learn from it. You can forgive yourself for things that you didn't know back then. And you can forgive yourself for staying too long. You can forgive yourself for trusting someone. You can forgive yourself for loving someone who couldn't love you in the way you actually needed. And then you pick up your backpack, all right? You take the lessons. You take the wisdoms. All right, and you can take that stronger version of yourself, and you can go forward, not running away, not escaping, all right, but moving towards something bigger. Two of Wands with the backpack there, all right. You have somewhere else to go, and maybe you don't know where yet. Maybe you don't know who will be there. Maybe you don't know exactly what the next chapter looks like, and that's okay. I'm hearing you don't have, you can be the fool and not have the whole map. You don't need the whole map. The fool doesn't need the whole map. You just need enough courage to take the next step. Your next chapter doesn't require you to forget the past. It only requires you to stop letting the past decide where you get to go. And remember, not every ending is a betrayal. Sometimes it's evolution. If you feel like sharing with us, what is this? All right. Well, are you ready to stop carrying into the next chapter? You can put down below in the comments. Or maybe you can just affirm, I'm leaving the past behind. And thank you for hitting the like button, beautiful souls. Leaving that comments, being subscribers here. Hey, if you want to dive into your own personal story, clarity on something, personal readings are open. Details are below in the description box. And you don't have to hate where you've been to choose where you're going next. Some people were chapters, some were lessons, some were mirrors, some were beautiful memories, and some were meant to walk beside you for a season. But not everyone is meant to come with you into your next chapter. All right. Take that lesson, take your strength, take your backpack, and keep moving. I'm sending you love and light, and I'll check you in the next one.